Hotels.com. Book your next trip with Hotels.com, the official travel partner of the NBA.
The Nets take a 2-0 series. Their offense humbles the Celtics.
The Celtics look like they're ready to go on vacation.
They gonna remember me. They say remember me.
What are you going to do to stop them?
Hey, yo, free 30, yo, and me.
How do you stop them?
I turn my enemies to number 3. Hold up.
All right, guys, our NBA writer, Tim Bontemps, he reported Kyrie Irving walks out as the game clock hits 8 minutes to a steady stream of boos. All right, Jay Will, what are we supposed to see from Kyrie here tonight?
These are the games that you love to be a part of when you get a chance to go back to a place that you left to prove that, yes, we are a championship contender team and we can lock down this series starting tonight.
And also the pressure is off because they know they're going to beat the Celtics. And that's his former team.
Yeah.
So he gets a chance to put on this show. This is borrowed money for Kyrie. I expect him to have a great game.
This is a Brooklyn team that needs to get in and out of this series healthy and out to the second round.
All right, why don't you go ahead and get into the game. We got Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy on the call. We'll see you at halftime.
Man down.
Thank you, Maria, and welcome to a Friday night in Boston on this Memorial Day weekend. It's a busy one in Beantown. Celtics and the Bruins both with playoff action at the TD Garden. The Bruins have already advanced to the second round of the NHL playoffs. Celtics, it's going to be a very difficult task for them to advance, as right now they find themselves down 2-0 to the Brooklyn Nets after losing the first 2 games of the series in New York. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, the commanding lead over Miami. Knicks and Hawks playing right now in Game 3, and Philadelphia already up 2-0 against the Washington Wizards. Of course, the reason it is such a tough task for the Celtics, the big three of the Brooklyn Nets. They put up 130 points in Game 2, led by as many as 33. They just came out of the gates and exploded offensively. Such offensive team. And good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Rachel Nichols with us as well. The Brooklyn Nets have control of this series right now. An extremely impressive second half of Game 1, a blowout victory in Game 2, and here they are up 2-0. Now, Mark, the big three hasn't played a lot of games together yet, but with each passing game, you can see how much more comfortable they're getting. What are you seeing from them so far?
Well, so many people said it wouldn't work because you needed more than one basketball. You needed 3 for these 3 incredible weapons on the offensive end. Well, it's working, and the reason why is because of the unselfish mentality and approach of these 3 special offensive weapons. Their ability to sacrifice sets a tone for the entire team. Taking the double team in half-court offense. Kyrie on the top, gets into the seams, recognize he's defended by 2 to 4 guys. Get rid of the basketball, put your teammate in position to score. Again, Kevin Durant on the block. As soon as you see 2, get rid of the basketball. Harden's able to step in rhythm. And because they set the tone, now all of a sudden you put him in pick and roll, and it's Bruce Bowen. Not the star player, but one of the players is held accountable to the same standards that the stars are set. Get rid of the basketball and make the right read and reaction. This is a highly talented offensive team that's tough to defend because of the tone that's being set.
Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, they came into this series as a massive underdog because Jaylen Brown, of course, out for the season with this wrist injury. Now they've got Kemba Walker. He's banged up. Jason Tatum had to leave the last game because of an injury. So it's a difficult task for them, Jeff, and this is our golden moment for McDonald's. As you well know, you win one game, you can turn a series around. How do they win this one game tonight?
It starts with the mentality. They have to believe they have more than enough to win. It starts with defense, and it starts with Jason Tatum producing at the offensive end seen all year. The Nets play a switching defense, and they have absolutely contained Tatum exceptionally well. They've made his shot attempts hard. They've made him play in a crowd. He's got to get rid of an account early, and he's got to get support from his teammates. But when he has these type of opportunities, he's got to cash them in. He's that great of offensive talent. You look at the numbers from the first 2 games. He has absolutely struggled with great defense, and with Tatum producing like he can, they can win one game.
Of course, so much of tonight revolves around the former Celtic Kyrie Irving returning to Boston. With more on that, let's go to Rachel Nichols.
Thanks, Mike. It's going to be significantly quieter here than it was in Brooklyn for Game 2. The Celtics are only allowed to have just under 5,000 fans here in the building. But the team does tell me they will have, quote, an enhanced security presence. This is after a spate of incidents across the NBA where fans have harassed players and their families. You know, I asked Kyrie Irving what he expected from the crowd tonight. Between injuries and COVID, this is actually the first time he'll be playing in front of fans here since he left as a free agent. Kyrie told me, look, he hopes the fans keep their comments strictly basketball related and that, quote, there's no belligerence or any racism going on. Boston has had racially motivated incidents between fans and players in the past. And Marcus Smart said he's heard some things from this crowd here at the Garden that, quote, sickened him. We also heard this morning from the Nets' Bruce Brown, who grew up here in Boston. He told me he was called a monkey when he was in high school. But he also added that since then, his general experience with fans here have been good, which is also what I heard from Jason Tatum as well. And they're both expecting fans to keep it within the lines when Kyrie is on the court tonight. There was a round of boos when Kyrie came out for warm-ups, but nothing beyond that. And certainly, there's plenty of basketball to focus on. KD, Kyrie, Harden, Tatum. This presentation of the NBA playoffs will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.